Ladies and gentlemen, a little throwback Thursday edition of NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. It is the NASCAR Busch Series for the Cabela's 250 at the Michigan International Speedway. My home track personally, but as we have just 12 races to go to crowning a Busch Series champion, we'll have to see how this one will shake up here tonight at Michigan. Coming off a thriller again last night at Indianapolis Raceway Park, seeing Kevin Harvick get a nice little win in the closing laps, trying to hold off a fast and probably faster Kyle Busch, number 5 Chevrolet, and that Hendrick Motorsports car. Took till the final corner, tried to drive it in deep to get to the back bumper of Harvick. He put himself in the wall doing so, and Harvick was able to hold on to the victory. We'll see if we have that good of a thrilling finish again here today. Harvick will be starting on the pole. And without further ado, we're going to hop into this. So like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do full race live streams with a realistic commentary for NASCAR video games, both past and current, as we are still on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode as well. Trying to round that up before NASCAR 21 Ignition comes out. We have other stuff, live streams with the actual commentary for actual races on the weekend as well, and many other videos. Predictions video for the NASCAR playoffs just dropped today, so you definitely want to check that out as well. So here we go. It'll be Kevin Harvick and Bobby Hamilton Jr. on the front row. Green flag is in the air. Harvick will lead the field down into turn 1 here at Michigan. Already clearing Bobby Hamilton Jr. Getting a good launch on the restart of that inside lane. He had his teammate right behind him, and look at his teammate go. A little contact, but still was able to get there. They're 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. More contact now with the 25 car of Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s are 3x3 down the backstretch. And into turn 3 as Harvick, the pole sitter, falls back to third. It'll be his teammate, Ron Hornaday, who is likely going to lead lap 1. Harvick gets right back by the 10 now of Terry Cook. Almost 4 wide back there off of turn 4. There it is, lap 1 led for Hornaday. 5 bonus points for him. He comes in 4th in the standings. Look at Harvick trying to get to the outside. Into turns 1 and 2. Hornaday going up way high to try and block his teammate. Now Harvick cuts down in the center of the corner and clears Hornaday off turn 2. Terry Cook trying to follow down the back straightaway now on the inside of Hornaday for 2nd place into turn 3. And Cook should be able to clear Hornaday off the exit of the corner. Good thing Ron was able to get those 5 bonus points and lead in lap 1. A lot of drafting at Michigan down these very long straightaways. Harvick all over the place. Tried to go low to break the draft. Oh, and he just chopped off Cook. Backwards goes the 10 cars. He lost a couple positions, falling back to 4th. They're lucky they didn't crash at these high speeds. I believe that's Ashton Lewis in 3rd place in the 46 car as well. Harvick keeps trying to go low to break the draft, and the car just gets sideways in the middle of the tri-oval. Hornaday has the run to the outside into turn 1. Maybe not the preferred lane there, and Harvick was able to fend him off. Open the door up for Ashton Lewis to maybe get to 2nd place as well. I'm going to pause it for a quick second to get the chat up on the live stream. There we go. Wanted to make sure we were going to get the mic. I don't even know if the mic was working those first few laps of the race either. Hopefully it was, and hopefully you guys heard me. Otherwise, that would have been an awkward silence for the very beginning of this race. Ethan, welcome to the stream. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get home soon enough tonight. I plan on going golfing with my dad this evening. and I knew I wasn't going to have time to get a NASCAR Heat 5 race, knowing that the next race is 500 miles at Darlington. Plus, with the Southern 500 actually being this weekend, I kind of want to run that race Sunday prior to the Southern 500, so we can run our race the same day as the actual race. Kind of falls in nice. Take a few days off with the career mode, and then we'll get back in full swing with it again on Sunday. Try to progress into this Busch Series season a little bit more. They got back around Ashton Lewis pretty quickly, and look who is coming through the field very fast as he was for most of last night. Kyle Busch actually led the most laps in last night's race at Indianapolis Raceway Park, 200-lap event there. He led 128 of them. Busch up to third place early on tonight. Track position means everything at Michigan. But with that, though, you can get a very big run in the draft with these very long straightaways. This is a 2-mile tri-oval. Very fast even for these Busch Series cars. You saw 195 miles an hour rolling into turn 1 that time for Harvick. Trying to get this car glued to the racetrack. Kyle Busch on the inside of Hornaday right now for second place. Harvick going to try to go down and take the line away of the 5 of Busch. Into turn 3, Kyle is all over him and up to second. Lewis to the inside of Hornaday now as well for position. Harvick again trying to go low and break the draft, and again he gets sideways trying to do it, and that is the run Kyle Busch needed. Easily gonna, no, never mind. I thought he was gonna pull down and clear Harvick. Harvick drove it in deep, and now way up the racetrack he goes. Fending off Kyle Busch. A little bit of contact. Could have very easily turned himself into the outside wall there. He was very lucky that that wasn't the case. Hornaday just about made contact that time with Ashton Lewis as well. So Bobby Hamilton Jr. is back in the 5th spot again. That time Harvick didn't get loose trying to break the draft, and he's able to pull up clear of the 5. That time he did exactly what he wanted to. That was a really good exit to turn 2. Trying to go low. Look at Harvick with a very aggressive block down the back straightaway. These two were not nice to each other last night, that's for sure. Kyle looking for 5 bonus points early on. Again to the inside of Harvick. Left a lot more bottom open that time through 3 and 4. Busch just cut across the nose of the 21. Luckily, he was clear. Great crossover by Harvick to get back to the inside and still lead that lap at the line on Busch. If he can help it, he does not want to give Kyle any laps led, and he accidentally put himself and Busch into the wall, and Hornaday's going to get to the lead. Oh, and Kenny Wallace gets turned, and there's a big crash off of turn 2. Problems all over the racetrack for Harvick. My goodness. Way late on the block on Kyle Busch getting into the corner. Allowed a few cars to get on by cleanly to the inside, like Hornaday getting to the lead, and we already have our first caution of the night. Only took 10 laps. Caution break was a little quicker than what I thought. Taking a drink. Harvick did not take off on the restart. He's probably got quite a bit of damage as well. Kenny Walsh just kind of got T-boned there. Harvick's car might be a little bit more unstable. Talk about a block by the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. throwing one on Kyle Busch. Busch now into the middle, 3 wide into turn 3. So the field bunched back together again, as they were for the most part anyway. J.J. Yaley just led that lap at the line. His first lap led of the race. They're trying to charge hard. Looking to go low. Kenny Wallace maybe going to go a little lower. Harvick is there. 3 wide into turn 3. Harvick just squeezes on by everybody. Now he's inside the 18 of Yaley. Got a little loose contact with Yaley. We're going to get into a nasty accident around this fast track. They keep making contact the way they are. We've already had 1 caution. Surprised it wasn't bigger than what it was. It had the makings to be a big accident. Harvick just a little on the loose side with this race car. Almost too loose. Trying to draft with Ron Hornaday now through the tri-oval. 196 miles an hour into turn 1 that time. Harvick down low off the exit of 4. The Hornaday trying to go down and side draft him. Hornaday holds on to the lead. He's probably got a little bit more straightaway speed than what Harvick's got right now with the damage on the 21 car from that first accident. Harvick wanted to keep that track position, and now a little contact off turn 2. Still trying to catch the car on Hornaday. Somehow Hornaday had the worst of it. I don't know how, but must have lifted a lot more. I think that's Dale Jr. up to second place all of a sudden. Getting through the carnage early on. And now we have a caution off turn 4. At lap 18, our second caution of the race already. Back of the pack, they might have gotten stacked up. The 128 car had gone around for a spin, backs it into the outside wall. 2 cars clipped him. It looked like it was actually at the back of the pack that only 2 cars outside of the one, I guess 3 cars technically, were involved in the accident. Second time in the last 3 races, the 128's gone for a spin. So now we have a caution once again. Harvick will stay out, means he has the race lead. So 2 cautions in the first 18 laps. Let's see what the rest of this is going to bring. Green flag back in the air. Harvick did not take off on that last restart with all this damage, so he's going to try to here, trying to hold off Dale Jr. Jr. trying to hold off Kyle Busch at the same time. Jr. going to look to the outside. Harvick goes high. Kyle Busch down low. Now he's underneath Dale Jr. for second. Jr.'s got to run down the back straightaway. Harvick goes up to block him. Back to the bottom on Busch into turn 3. Busch slides into the corner. Now he moves up the racetrack. 3 wide for the race lead off of turn 4. Kenny Wallace down low. Kyle Busch in the middle. Harvick on the high side. David Stremmy's in the mix. This is going to get tight. Wow. Harvick trying to squeeze through. Him and Kyle Busch seem to be rivals right now, and Harvick squeezes into the wall off turn 2. That bounced him into the 8 of Dale Jr., who was underneath him, still 3 wide, with Ashton Lewis all the way down low. David Stremme is leading this race. We're nearly 3 wide for the lead again. Harvick's going to have to be careful. Kyle Busch might try to turn him if he gets alongside of him. Busch all the way up high. Harvick trying to squeeze up the middle. Oh no. And Busch turns him. Busch turns Harvick into Lewis. Both cars hard into the inside retaining wall down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch just completely dumped Kevin Harvick and Ashton Lewis. So a little contact off of turn 2 again. And Harvick had slid up the racetrack. Golly. It didn't take much. Everybody's going to be hitting pit road. Harvick can't pit for fuel or tires because he was involved in the accident. He's got a ton of damage to repair, though, that is for certain. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. Oh, I don't know why I forgot the face cam. Give me a second. There we go. There I am. Get the camera adjusted here. Ugh. There we go. My bad on that one. Hang on. I got to pause it now. Got a big screen on me. There we go. There you go. Now you guys can see the action. I don't know why I didn't have that up. I thought I did. I have the chat on. I wasn't paying attention to that. Way to point that out, though. Way to point it out. All right, so Harvick will be back in the lead, but he is going to have the oldest tires in the field now. 3 cautions in the first 30 laps tonight at Michigan. It's been a sloppy start, to say the least. We'll hope for the best. Billy Parker on the inside of Harvick off the exit of turn 2. Parker's still going to have the inside into 3. Harvick up high, trying to hold his line. Now he's 3 wide. JJ Yaley underneath him. So is Hermie Sadler in the 0-2. Not a lot of room off the exit of turn 4. Harvick bunches off the wall, making contact with Yaley. Yaley gets shuffled back. He might have been into the wall. That just stacked most of the field up there. Harvick's car is just all over the place. Can't hold a straight line, especially when he's alongside somebody. That's why he keeps having contact. Slid up into the wall off turn 2 that time as well. Hermie Sadler was able to get on by Billy Parker for the race lead. Patrick Shadley, Michael Turner, welcome on in. Oddly didn't get the notification, but here now. I've noticed that a lot lately, that you guys have been commenting down in the chat that you guys haven't been getting the notifications recently, and I'm not sure why that is. But I can't really, like, it doesn't say, oh, we forgot to notify so-and-so. Like, you guys are the ones that tell me that. Well, this is bold. Considering Harvick's car doesn't have a whole lot of grip. Try to go 3 wide. Kenny Wallace holds on to the lead. Actually will be the one to take the lead. Sadler led the lap before. Cap 24, welcome to the stream. Harvick's going to have to make some adjustments this next pit stop because it is not looking good for him. He's still on the same old tires from the start of the race. Involved in 2 of the 3 accidents we've already seen the first 30 laps. Underneath Kenny Wallace off the exit of turn 4. Wallace just has a little bit better drive there on the straightaway that Harvick can't quite get around him on these older tires. Just going to draft with Wallace down the back straightaway. 194 miles an hour going off into turn 3. Whew. Harvick tried to side draft Wallace. Wallace pinching Harvick down as well. It's going to be an awkward angle into turn 1 for the 21 car. And he gets a little loose. With Wallace pinching him down, still trying to catch the car up the racetrack. Harvick has been a little too loose from the get-go anyway. With Kenny really trying to pinch him down there. It's not good for him. Wallace has 2 wins this season, both at Daytona. He has swept the Daytona races. Now, this is not a super speedway, but it is a 2-mile trial, very fast. So maybe it's just the 23 team bringing him some fast cars with these tracks with longer straightaways. I don't remember him really competing for the win at California earlier this season. Wallace going extremely high in 1 and 2. Harvick to the bottom, looking for the lead again. Off turn 2. Not going to clear. Wallace going to try to side draft that right rear corner panel right now. Into turn 3. And again, Harvick just can't get it done. Wallace leads the lap. Side by side, look at how low Kenny is pinching Harvick, and Harvick just going to let him go into 1. He didn't want that awkward angle and get super loose, getting into the corner again. Still gets a little shaky in the center of the corner anyway. And Harvick just cannot find his way around Kenny Wallace. Likely going to be a 2-pit stop race. Everybody has pit once except for Harvick has not pitted for fuel or tires yet. Justin Bieber fan, welcome to the stream. Slid quite a bit in the corner. He still leads that lap at the line on Wallace. Caution's out. Back in the pack again. Our 4th caution, and it's only lap 36. Harvick had about a half a car length on Kenny Wallace when the caution waved. And again, off of turn 4, it's where we've seen 2 of the yellows so far. Right off the exit of turn 4, as it looks like, I believe, Blue Castleberry in the 139 car that has gone around, or 138. Not sure exactly what number he is, but it looked like Blue Castleberry. One of the generated drivers. So Kevin Harvick will make his first pit stop during the caution. He'll give up the race lead. We'll see if anybody else comes down with him. Got about 10 laps in there between the cautions. And he is definitely going to tighten this car up. 1 round of wedge all the way around will be the adjustment for the 21 of Harvick. If you're just tuning in, it has been a caution-filled race, to say the least, from the get-go. 4 yellows in the first 36 laps. Our most amount of cautions we've had in a single race this season is 6. And we're only 2 away from that already. Well on pace to having that. A slow race pace to the start of the Cabela's 250 at Michigan tonight. Yep, it cannot repair all that damage, as Michael stated it in the chat. Not like NASCAR Heat 5. So Kenny Wallace will take the lead. Everybody can make it on 1 more pit stop to the end of this race. We'll have to see when that window is exactly going to open. Green flag back in the air. Harvick's going to have the freshest tires in the field. The problem is we've had a lot of cautions. We haven't had a long green flag run, so everything's kind of been bunched together quite a bit. So he's going to have to maybe survive an accident. Definitely going to try to keep that car clean. Doesn't seem to have a great jump on the restarts either. Hermie Sadler gets to the lead on the restart, taking it away from Kenny Wallace. And now Dale Jr., who restarted probably outside the top 3. He might have been in 3rd, but it was hard to tell. He was definitely not in the top 2. He's going to get to the lead on turn 4. Goes from at least 3rd to 1st there. We'll see what Harvick can do on the fresh tires, trying to get back into this. Oh, and they're checking up again. Harvick is hooked. No caution. Harvick could not get off of the two cars he was connected to. I don't know what happened in front of the field. Look at the track map on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Dale Jr. is just pulled away from everybody. I think whoever was up towards the front of the pack might have either gotten into the wall or made contact off turn 2. That stacked up the cars at the rear who just had nowhere to go. And Harvick's got heavy damage now to the right rear of his race car where he had gotten hooked on the two cars he was making contact with. And now he's over 9 seconds off the lead all of a sudden. And that is the danger with restarting at the back of the pack. He knew he could make it on one stop, and he didn't want to pit under green. Well, the problem is things got stacked up again on the restart. And we've just been seeing that a bunch tonight, which is why we've had 4 cautions already. It just happened so quick at these faster racetracks, too. There was nowhere for Harvick to go. They were 2 by 2, 3 wide in front of him. And you couldn't even tell what happened up there other than everybody just checked up. Crazy. I don't think the cautions are done by any means tonight. It just seems like one of those kinds of races so far. I mean, it's just crazy that nobody can run in a straight line. Everything's been off the exit of the corners, too, where it really narrows up, especially off turn 2. We've had 2 crashes off of turn 2 and 2 of them off of 4. About had another one off of turn 2, 2 laps after the restart there. Harvick back at 38th. Be troublesome. I think there's at least one driver out of the race. I'm not sure if anybody else who was involved in the first few accidents might have DNF'd as well. The good thing is Harvick still has pressure tires, but the problem is he already lost track position before, and now he's really lost a lot of track position. Dale Jr., who got to the lead on the restart, was ahead of everything, so he was able to drive away, but it does look like there are some cars starting to slowly run him back down again. And he finally catches the second group of cars, this giant group. For 128, he was involved in an accident, spun on his own off turn 4, collected a few other cars. Super early in the race. Harvick aggressively just trying to get around these guys as quick as possible. He knows he's got to go. At least he was able to lead a couple laps earlier in the race. Especially having that lead when that last caution had to come out. 3 wide off of turn 4. In contact with Manny Brown. Seems like the field is slowly just gapping back up to Dale Jr. again. Harvick a little loose off turn 4. Stayed in the gas, drove out of it. Now trying to side draft Luke Nixon in the 63. Nixon's kind of pinching him down. Harvick's just going to let him go into turn 1 and back this corner up. Oh, caution! Again, another crash. Turns 1 and 2. A couple cars hard into the outside wall. Harvick and the rest of the field down below will skate by. Another bad block. Tiny Buchanan in the 113 car tried to block the 12 of Tim Fedewa into turn 1. Got hooked, up into the wall they go, and already 5 cautions in the first half of this race. My goodness. We'll see if the field comes down this time. I don't think that window's open to the end of the race. We keep getting cautions like this. It probably is, but a little riskier now. 5 cautions in the first 46 laps at Michigan here tonight. And I don't think we've had a green flag run longer than 7 laps. Green flag back in the air again. Lap 52, Dale Jr. leads. Seems like the leader's been a sitting duck on these restarts so far. So is Harvick, who has just not had the takeoff speed. Ron Hornaday to the lead into turn 1 again. It's just, the leader can't seem to pull with these longer straightaways. Harvick didn't lose a spot that time, though. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. Yeah, well, that was, I figured, hey, why not try a, new series on the channel, and that got cut away early. I know that people have done it before. Like, I've seen a stream, Black Lives Matter, that Danny B have, like, reacted to full races before like that, and their streams never got cut down, and I don't understand why mine did, or why I ever have issues with copyright, but, like, I give the credit in the description below as well to the, to NASCAR, NASCAR Media Group, whatever, and that's what the copyright claim was from NASCAR Media Group. Like, I don't understand why I get... I don't know. It might be because they have media credentials and I don't. I mean, that doesn't... You wouldn't think that would make too much of a difference. I guess the good thing with that caution coming out is the field got bunched back together, which means Harvick is within 3 seconds of the lead again. Made a nice pass on the outside. He still got a little bit fresher tires as well. Just hoping that the field doesn't stack up again like it did on the last restart and every restart prior to that. Luke Nixon all the way down low. 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. Harvick shot out of a cannon now in the middle of 3 and 4, making some passes up to 20th. Tim Fido, who's involved in that last accident, right in front of him. Harvick trying to get the run. Fido looked to pull the block, but Harvick drove it in deep into turn 1. He wasn't going to back out, let him go. He gets around him. 3 by 3 up ahead of him now, up of turns 1 and 2. He's going to have a little lower exit in case they made contact. Casey Atwood just completely ran low, but luckily Harvick went even lower to make sure there wasn't going to be contact there, and he makes a little bit with Atwood getting into the corner, and that slid the 21 up the track. Harvick seems to be all right. Hangs on in front of the 14. A bump draft to the back of Kenseth, trying to get him going through the tri-oval. Harvick on the outside of Kenseth. Dave Green's got a good run down the back straightaway as well. Oh, trouble again! Harvick just made contact with Terry Cook as he sideswiped up the track when David Green and Terry Cook into the corner. Another caution that started when Cook got into the outside wall after trying to block David Green going into the corner. We saw how big of a run David Green got down the back straightaway. There was just no chance for Cook to block him, and he thought he could still make the block, and the blocking has just caused a lot of these accidents tonight. Harvick almost made it through, but not quite. He takes another big blow to the right side of his race car, which, as you can see, already has a lot of damage from that first caution of the day. 6 cautions in the first half of this race. That is just unbelievable. Already tying. Almost 5 seconds of damage. And it won't even all be repaired here, but Harvick's got to repair it again after an impact on the right side. After Terry Cook and David Green got together, there was just nowhere for Harvick to go. He was already on the outside lane right behind the 37 of Green. Not good when you're trying to battle for a championship for Harvick in a race like this, as sloppy as it has been. We're going to have ourselves another restart. J.J. Yaley got to the lead right before the caution waved. So he'll restart out in front at lap 60. 6 cautions so far. One more will have the most in a single race so far in this Busch Series season. And everybody still has to make one pit stop to the end of the race. Dale Jr. gets to the lead on the restart. Whoever the leader is, every restart has lost the lead every restart. And even the initial start of the race as well, when it was double file and Kevin Harvick led the field of the green, it was actually Ron Hornaday Jr. who led the opening lap. A little sideways off 4, just getting by one of those guys. I want to know down in the comments section below how many more cautions you guys think we're going to have tonight. Because, again, we have not had a green flag run longer than 10 laps. Nothing could get spaced apart, as we tend to see at Michigan, these bigger tracks, just because we haven't gone far enough into a green flag run, and things get wild at Michigan on restarts, as we know, with how wide this track is. But guys have been way too aggressive on the blocking. Harvick has just been in the wrong place at the wrong time on a couple occasions already. 117 car trying to go all the way down low. He wants to take it 3 wide into turn 3, and he has a run. Underneath the 116, the 107, the 116 cuts down in front of him. Backing these cars up on that inside lane. And he's going to go low. 3 wide. Harvick goes even lower. 4 wide through the tri-oval. This could get hairy into turn 1 again. Now they're 3 wide, luckily, by the time they get into turn 1. Harvick on fresher tires, trying to get through the field. Trying to do it all over again. He got to the top 15 before he got involved in that last accident. Started with Terry Cook and David Green. Harvick to 26th. Tries to hop back in line again through the tri-oval. 131 car in front of him. He's trying to get a bit of a draft on. Terry Cook started inside the top 5 as well. Running back outside the top 20. Sure that damage from that last accident can't help him. Harvick underneath Brown in the middle of 3 and 4. Harvick is launching himself forward. His teammate Ron Hornaday leads the race. Do I like it? Don't really care for that genre of music, so I think everybody's heard a couple of Justin Bieber songs before. I don't know any of his songs from recent. Oh, man, contact off turn 2 again. They got a little stacked up. Harvick went low enough. He was able to escape, but they're going to be 3 wide into turn 3. Harvick squeezes on by. He just wants to get out of harm's way, and he's up to 12th. He gained a lot of spots down the back straightaway with that stack up. And to be back inside the top dozen for the first time in a long time has to feel great. A lot of the accidents we've seen have been mid-pack on back. Just past halfway. Hornaday may have the fastest car in the field. I mean, it's really tough to tell, though, with all these cautions, too. We don't know who's got a long run car, if anybody does at all. Harvick's got an advantage of fresher tires for now. Obviously, we don't know if that's going to hold up. Harvick going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Underneath Jason Keller and David Stremme. Into turn 3. Launches it in. Up to 10th as he makes the pass on both of them. Hermie Sadler held out a line on the outside. He gets past by 1, now 2 cars in the middle of 3 and 4. Bobby Hamilton Jr., then Kevin Harvick. Look at Hamilton trying to block Harvick. Harvick gets out of the gas, lets him go. Got a lot of caution so far. Don't want to see another one. Harvick slides up in front of Ashton Lewis a little too far up the racetrack. Hangs on. Wallace trying to side draft the outside. Bobby Hamilton Jr. Harvick pulled low to try and block Ashton Lewis after Harvick slid up the track off the exit of the last corner. Harvick following Bobby Hamilton by Kenny Wallace now into 3 and 4. Look at this scrum up here. 5 cars all battling for the lead. Now Hamilton Jr. and Harvick have closed in. It's a 7-car pack at the front of the field. Harvick finally underneath Hamilton into turn 1. Really low entry, and he gets chopped off by the 9 of Jeff Burton. Decent contact there. That could have caused another wreck. That really stalled the run out Harvick had off of turn, or really going into 1, and cost him off the exit of the next corner. Nearly 3 wide, getting into 3 and 4 on the other end. Escapes out of it with Hermie Sadler and Kenny Wallace around him. Lap 70. Well, we've gone 10 laps into this green flag run. That might be the longest green flag run of the race. I think it is up to this point. I did not know Justin Bieber was a Metallica fan. I don't buy that one bit, though, either. Earl Arnold Jr., welcome to the stream. I don't buy that one bit. Billy Kramer, welcome as well. And 9 people watching. 4 likes. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NASCAR content. Just into the second half of this race, finally. It's been a kind of a long one so far due to all the cautions we've seen. 6 yellows in the first half of the race. It's the longest green flag run so far. And we're only at 11 laps into the run. So it has been one of those sloppy kinds of races. We've seen a lot of bad blocks. Harvick just gets to the outside of Hamilton, into the wall, into 3. Hamilton didn't give him a lot of room there. That was an awkward angle into the corner for Harvick that he just wasn't going to be able to hold at that speed. Harvick may consider short pitting at this point as well. Lucas, NASCAR for Life 18, welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness, 3 wide. Nope, Junior backs out of it. He lets Yaley and Kyle Busch go. Yaley to the lead off turn 4 now. Jeff Burton cycled through just before that. Hornaday trying to go 3 wide. Through the tri-oval. Harvick going to go even lower. Nowhere to go. He runs out of room. Pack of 6 cars under a blanket for the lead. Harvick's got a rival with Kyle Busch right in front of him. He's going to have to be careful with him. This could get dicey very quickly here. Hornaday taking it kind of flat into the corner. Kyle Busch up the middle. 3 wide there. Jeff Burton hung up all the way up high. Harvick to 5th. Harvick trying to draft with Kyle Busch. Thought about it, and then he pulls down low to block Jeff Burton instead. He's trying to hold the 9 car back. He's got to be careful. He gets underneath Kyle Busch. Oh boy, 3 wide just about. Jeff Burton took the air off the left rear of Harvick. Junior leads. When did that happen, by the way? I don't even know. I never even heard of that. Harvick underneath Busch. Trying to get away from him. Busch chases him all the way to the inside. He turns him hard into the wall. He takes out the points leader. And Jeff Burton gave him a huge hit. Kyle Busch turns Kevin Harvick. Oh, that was a hard hit into the outside wall into turn one. Just a vicious accident. My goodness. Jeff Burton was just a poor innocent bystander in all of it. That is unbelievable. And everybody's going to be coming on down to pit road. Final stop of the day. A lot of damage to fix on that 21 car. Man, oh man. Earl didn't get the notification either. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why channel's been kind of stingy with that lately. The last few nights, it seems like a lot of you guys haven't been getting notifications. It goes in bunches. It's like sometimes you'll get the notifications and sometimes you don't. It just gets in these streaks. Look at all the spots Harvick's losing on pit road, and he didn't even get that much damage repaired. Remember, Harvick is not DNF'd at all this season. Kyle Busch, at this fast of a track, on the fastest part of the track going into turn one, just completely dumped Kevin Harvick. Green flag back in the air. There is heavy damage on this 21 car, and as crazy as a race have we seen now, 7 yellows, the most we've had in a race this season so far, and we still got over 40 laps to go. This is not over with yet. With that caution and everybody pitting, I would think everybody can make it on fuel to the end from there, especially if we keep having yellows like we have. How much is this damage going to hold Harvick back now? He was inside the top 5. Now he restarts 14th, again with damage. That might have just taken him out of a shot to win this race. Kyle Busch, meanwhile, is going to get to the lead on the restart. Harvick to the outside, and he brushes the wall into 3. That didn't work. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time here today for about the next 4 laps. Jeez. Harvick just completely overdrove 1 and 2. So what, our longest green flag run of the race was about 17 laps before that last yellow. I think less than that. We've been 3rd lap after the restart now. Probably about 14, 15 laps. Our longest green flag run. Matt Kenseth's going to get to the lead for the first time tonight. Oh, and they're crashing again. Dale Jr. down to the inside. Harvick barely misses the 14 of Casey Atwood. Stayed in the gas, gunned his way through it, and he's up to 5th. Jr. was down near the grass. We figured they were going to stack up again. We've seen it all day long. That's why we've had 7 cautions. Most of it has been on bad blocks. Harvick survives with this wrecked race car and is up inside the top 5 at a track where aerodynamics are a big factor. Problem is, Kyle Busch has turned him once. And you'd have to assume he may turn him again if he gets a chance. So Harvick's going to have to be careful. Just to not DNF after that vicious accident is big of itself here. I don't know who all made contact. It seemed like Busch kind of checked up. I don't know if he may have gotten into the wall off too and they stacked up behind him. Definitely looked like Casey Atwood and Dale Jr. made contact, and Harvick just went right up the gut, right in between them. Never lifted. He was just far enough back that he was able to actually make a reaction to it. And that instant reaction was just enough to miss, and everybody from fifth on back is almost out of contention if this goes green to the end. I don't see that happening, though. We still got 40 laps to go. Busch trying to side draft Hermie Sadler getting into one, and it looked like he got a little wide there. Harvick dive bombs. Harvick getting a little sideways, trying to side draft the 5 car there of Kyle Busch. Oh, and Busch tries to turn him in the middle of the corner again. That really stalled out Harvick's momentum off of turn 4. Side by side for the lead. Matt Kenseth, can't really tell who else is up there battling him right now. Harvick does fend off Hermie Sadler for 4th place. It's J.J. Yaley. Yaley and Kenseth have been the ones battling for the lead. Remember, Kenseth won at California earlier this season. Last and only other 2-mile racetrack on the circuit. Harvick trying to draft with Kyle Busch all the way through the tri-oval here. Carried a lot of speed into turn 1. Harvick wants to let this play green. He doesn't want to get payback on Busch. He's actually kind of scared too with the damage on the race car already. He really needs to keep this car as clean as he can all the way through this race. Busch has a big run off turn 4 that time. And he pulls to the back bumper of Yaley into turn 1. He's going to look to the high side. Yaley going low for the lead on Matt Kenseth now. Oh, Harvick got tight. Had to lift. Kenseth almost got in the wall. Look at Busch trying to block Harvick down the back straightaway. Harvick just going to kind of follow Busch into turn 3. Kenseth just got stuck up high, loses 3 positions that lap. J.J. Yaley to the lead. Kyle Busch to second. Harvick to third. Harvick looking for the lead, but Yaley throws a block through the tri-oval. Look at Yaley throwing a big block. Not allowing Kyle Busch to get to the lead. The blocks have primarily been bad today for most drivers. Busch going low. He's making the move for the lead, pinching off the 21 of Harvick in the process. Yaley just going to be able to pull down in front of the 5. That clean air is helping Yaley out quite a bit right now. Harvick a little loose off turn 2. He couldn't get the drive that time. Harvick's scared to get underneath the 5. He already turned it once, and another hit like that is going to end the race for the 21. Kyle Busch a little push. saying, hey, I'm here. Remember me? Harvick is more than willing to try to see if Kyle Busch can actually get to the lead himself and just follow him so he can get to second from that point. Though he doesn't want Busch to lead too many laps in this race. Kyle's only led a couple at the most. I know he has led. Harvick's only led a few laps as well. I'm not sure who's really in contention to lead the most. All the cautions we've had and all the restarts, the drivers losing the lead on the restarts. Kind of a three-car breakaway for now. I mean, really, that field got stacked up from sixth on back. And since then, Kenseth's kind of lost touch after he lost the lead and fell back to fourth. He just can't keep up with the top three. Jeez. Slid a little too much. Look at how much ground he lost to 1 and 2. And now Busch trying to find an opening underneath Yaley. And he may get there into turn 3. Or is Yaley going to be able to pull down and get another block on him? Yep, that's exactly what happens. Yaley fending off Kyle Busch again. Busch going to go in deep into 3. Oh, Yaley gave plenty of room. Harvick follows Busch as well, so Kyle Busch to the lead, Harvick to second, and J.J. Yaley now back to third. And if it's anything like we've seen over the last dozen races or so, this might be a breakaway with Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick here. 31 laps to go. Harvick trying to get there and get underneath Kyle Busch. Oh, a little contact. That didn't help. And Yaley's going to get back to second place because of it. Yaley's got a big run in the draft to Kyle Busch now through the tri-oval. Busch goes a little wide off the exit of turn 2. Harvick is underneath Yaley, though, for second place down the back straightaway. He'll take a deep dive into turn 3, and he's going to get there. Back to second place again, off turn 4, and all over the back bumper of Kyle Busch. This is going to be a sketchy final 29 laps. The DNF with Busch running this well right now would definitely give Kyle Busch the points lead with just 11 races to go after this one. I mean, now he basically just kind of has to force Kyle Busch into a mistake. These guys might catch lap traffic before the end. It's tough to say for now. That's if we stay green to the end, too, which I don't think is going to happen either. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time in today's race for about the next 4 laps. Yaley starting to lose touch of the top 2. Harvick's just got to try to stay in the draft down these straightaways. Could not get the car to the bottom of the track that time. Kyle Busch just trying to mirror drive at this point and pull as many blocks as he possibly can. Busch wants a win. This could be huge. Even if he only closes in another 10, 15 points on Kevin Harvick. Never know what kind of a string of events this could lead into. And again, we don't know if we're going to get another restart. Harvick would rather this stay green to the end. He got really tight that time into turn 3. But if it stays green to the end of the race and he doesn't DNF, at least he gets a top 2. Assuming Kyle Busch doesn't completely junk him out of a spot that could win. Oh, that was back in 2015 when that old Metallica thing? Probably why I don't remember it or something. Justin Bieber in 2015, he was super young then, wasn't he? I think he's only a couple of years older than me. I would have been like 15, 16. Oh, Harvick up the track. So is Busch. Harvick underneath the 5 of Kyle Busch. And Kyle got a little bit better of a run. "25 laps to go." I'm nervous because Kyle already turned us once, and I'm scared he might do it again. It might be better off running second just for the big picture of it. I know Harvick wants to win this race, but and Kyle Busch is second in points. But think big picture, because if he turns him again, and Harvick has his first DNF of the season this late in the year, while yes, he has a 107-point lead coming into this race, but remember, max amount of points he can score in a single race is 190. And Kyle Busch may very well get a max points day if he can lead out to the end of this race. Because we've had a ton of different leaders and a ton of lead changes with all those cautions. Again, we had 7 cautions in the first 74 laps. Get another restart too, though. Again, that just jacks everything back up. We've seen crazy restarts so far, but we've also seen that the race leader on every restart we've had so far has lost the lead on the restart. So that could be, I guess, maybe a possibility. Harvick could just slingshot by Busch into 1 and 2 without Busch having a chance to even turn him. Kind of loses a couple positions. That could be the opening for Harvick to win the race. Remember, we had a caution come out with 3 laps to go back in California earlier this year, and the race ended under yellow. Something like that happened here today at Michigan as well. Halfway on field. These guys should be good to the end. 21 to go. Look at how low Harvick's going, trying to get a run on Busch. Problem is he gets the run, but Kyle's got more straightaway speed because he has obviously far less damage than what Harvick has. He's got a couple donuts on the right side of his car, and that's about it. Harvick, yeah, I mean, you can see the back of the car. That hit from Jeff Burton after Busch turned him earlier was a big brunt of it. It has heavy damage to the front after hitting the outside wall when Busch had turned him. And then that first caution of the race, he had a lot of damage on the right side of the race car. Being involved in that way back on lap number 4, I believe. Lap 6. It was very, very early. Just a few laps into the race. Harvick just can't muster up the speed down the straightaways to get by Busch. I mean, the draft itself is allowing him to hang on. That's about it. I mean, the only other thing you could hope for, again, is lap traffic. If this does go green to the end, then maybe that plays a factor, but we don't even know if these guys are going to catch lap traffic. Only 20 laps to go. Very big racetrack. Busch left some bottom open that time. Harvick might have just passed him cleanly. Off of turn 2. Oh, and he throws a block down the back straightaway. Clear. Harvick finally musters up enough to get around Kyle Busch for the lead. With 20 to go, and he got around him clean without Busch having a swipe at him. Now, can Harvick hang on with his rival all over his back bumper? Because he may turn him again if he gets a chance. And we know Kyle's a little bit faster down the straightaways. Now this could get dangerous. Harvick drifts all the way up the track. He's in the wall. Harvick just kept pushing all the way up the racetrack. Kyle easily gets to the lead. And now Harvick's not really close enough to get a draft off Kyle Busch anymore. Well, he led for one lap. Yeah, I think that's a game glitch with NASCAR 5 that there's no green, white checkers for the Busch series. Because it should be for all 3 series. I don't know why it's not for the Busch series. I think that's a video game error. I highly doubt the actual rules were like that back in 2004. Yeah, so we know if we get a caution in the final 5 laps that we're going to stay out of the pits and not pit like we did in California and give ourselves a 16th place finish. Maybe even worse here, considering every car that's on the track is on the lead lap. All the shorter runs we had earlier in the race. It's going to be tough for Harvick to get back to Busch without having that drafting help. I mean, the corners. Oh, and we have a caution. Never mind. Well, that'll bunch him back up again. That might give Harvick another chance. Because it was going to be tough to run down Busch after that. Ashton Lewis has spun in the middle. Oh, hard hit into the outside wall for Lewis. Oh, my goodness. Every car missed him to the inside. So in turns 1 and 2, Ashton Lewis spins on his own. The 8th caution of the night. Very hard hit into the left rear. He is very lucky that nobody hit him when he came back down the track. And this is a late race restart with less than 20 laps to go. We know how these restarts have been all day today. That was the longest green flag run of the race. From lap 74 to lap, 106? No, it was probably like 109 maybe. I guess David Green's a lap down. He must have pitted under Green. So Green is a lap down. He might get in the way of Kyle Busch. That might open the door for Harvick again. He's going to take the dive into turn 1. Oh, he can't get there. Look at Yaley on the outside. J.J. Yaley with a great restart. Busch finally gets underneath David Green, trying to block him. Green almost in the wall. Off of turn 2 as well. What a restart from J.J. Yaley. Harvick holds on to 3rd, but he rocketed by on the outside. And now he's going for the lead as Harvick drifts up the track at 3 and 4. Only make it back to the checker again. Seen a lot of short runs so far. Yaley's got to run on the high side. Busch may try to go up and block. That's going to leave the bottom open for Harvick into turn 1. And Kevin Harvick is going for the lead. He gets loose in the middle of the corner. And Busch is going to hang on. Yaley on the outside is likely going to hang on for 2nd. And does. And Harvick's going to have to put himself back in line now behind the 18 car down the back straightaway. At least Harvick is close enough to be in the draft with cars and have a shot at the win. Though that lock-in 2nd place finish is over as well, though. 11 laps to go. Everybody's still bunched up pretty big. Into 1 and 2. Harvick underneath of Yaley for 2nd place. Doesn't really drift up the track that time. Drift up well. Clears Yaley off of turn 2 for 2nd. We'll have 10 laps to go this time by at Michigan. Harvick underneath of Busch. Busch drifting way up the track in the middle of the corner. Harvick got to the inside right on corner entry, and Harvick is going to lead off of turn 4. 10 laps to go at Michigan. Oh, look at Yaley. He muscled past Busch. Harvick goes up the track in 1 and 2. Busch gets into Harvick. He put him in the wall. And Yaley holds on to the lead. Busch gets shuffled way back. Dale Jr.'s up to 3rd. Nine to go. And is Yaley far enough ahead that Harvick can't get a draft? Jr. might have the next best shot of trying to catch Yaley. Some cars just went their way to pit road. I don't know what's going on with the Denny Hamlin situation. I have no clue. I don't really check Twitter for anything, so I have no clue what's going on with like his personal life or if any of it's even true. I've only heard that something may be going on, but I don't have any clue what's going on there. Somehow Harvick caught back to Yaley again. And a quarter tank of fuel left. Had 2 cautions since. Kyle Busch ran a little wide into Harvick, squeezed him into the wall, and that might have been the opening for Harvick to actually beat Busch at least today, but now he's trying to get around Yaley for the race win. 7 laps to go. He took the lead away from Busch at IRP late in the last race. Oh, Yaley just blocked Harvick into the wall into turn 1. A late block and a desperation one for Yaley. Just stuffed the 21 car in the wall. And Harvick's going to have to get that momentum back again, and Junior's all over him for second. Hate to say, but that might have been the move that won Yaley the race. 6 to go. Junior now to the inside of Harvick for second. Harvick just trying to have this car survive to the end of the race at this point. Look at the straightaway speed Junior has. Dale Jr. to second. Does he have a shot to get to J.J. Yaley for the win? Five laps to go. Caution comes out. It may end the race. I think that's Kyle Busch in 4th place. Tough to tell for sure. Now, at least Harvick can draft with Dale Jr. Can they draft enough with each other to get to Yaley, though, is going to be the next question. Is there enough laps for that to happen? Harvick just had not a great car from the start. All the damage hasn't helped. Harvick to the inside of Dale Jr. for second place again into turn 1. Harvick going to have to let Jr. go. Jr. really pinched him off into turn 1. Just 4 laps remain at Michigan for J.J. Yaley, who I don't believe has won a race this season. I could be wrong. But I believe Yaley's going for his first win. And he blocked Harvick into the wall with about 8 to go to try and get himself a bigger advantage. And might not have been well, it definitely wasn't the cleanest way to do it, but he got there. Harvick going to side draft Junior. They keep battling for second. That's going to help Yaley as well. 3 to go for J.J. Yaley. Harvick has an advantage on Junior. He slides up the racetrack in front of him into 1 and 2. Junior going to try to cross him over off the exit of the corner. Harvick hangs on to second. Trying to block Junior down the back straightaway now. Oh, Harvick just completely missed turn 3. Junior back to the inside off of turn 4, side by side for second, helping Yaley. 2 laps to go. Harvick loose. Oh, man, that was not good. That's a hit into the outside wall. Remember, no cautions come out on the final lap, by the way, as well. On this game, that was man, that right front's in the red now. Junior's up to second place again with a lap and a half to go. Final lap for J.J. Yaley. Dale Jr. is closing the gap. These guys are plenty good on fuel. Junior's got a big run down the front stretch. Harvick a little loose into 1. Couldn't drive it in as deep. Oh, he may look high. Junior has another run down the back straightaway again. Can he get to Yaley? Yaley gotta go high. Junior down low. Junior's gonna get underneath J.J. Yaley. Harvick is gonna follow Junior now. Yaley's gonna lose 2 spots in the final corner. Junior trying to block Harvick. Harvick's gotta run to the line. And Junior's gonna win at Michigan. Harvick made a last-ditch effort trying to side draft the 8 car off the exit of turn 4. Oh my god, what? 1/1000th of a second. Dale Jr. wins at Michigan. I don't think it was that close of a finish. That might have been a glitch with the game. I don't think it was that close, but it was definitely close. I didn't think Harvick had a shot to get there. And Yaley just... I don't know what happened to him in that last half a lap, but Junior went low. Harvick followed him in there, and then in the process of that, Harvick just got to the left rear corner panel of Dale Jr. to side draft him, pull him back, and almost beat Junior back to the checker. But Dale Jr. is going to get the win at Michigan. It's been good on these bigger ovals this season. Harvick second, J.J. Yaley third, Kyle Busch fourth. Matt Kenseth rounds out the top 5. Jeff Burton 7th, David Stremme 8th, Bobby Hamilton Jr. 9th, and Blue Castleberry, who comes from a spin early in the race to get that Dodge back in the top 10 and round out the top 10. We got to see if there's a replay of the finish. Yeah, here's the finish. Coming down to the checker. Well, it cuts it out right before they get to the start-finish line, but it was definitely close. It called it at 1/1000th of a second. I don't think it was quite that close. We have probably half a car underneath him. I think that's a little bit of a glitch with like the actual interval time, because I don't think it was quite that close. Because like we weren't like nose to nose, like dead even at the line, but we were underneath. We were probably like maybe to his hood. Like at the bottom of the windshield, maybe that close. I mean, here it is again. It doesn't go all the way to the finish line, but I mean that's maybe a half a car. It was definitely a photo finish, but man, Dale Jr. gets the win. Great win for him. That might have been his first of the year. That was one of the stack ups up there. I don't know what happened in front of us. Still, that was really weird. We were at the back. We had to just made our pit stop. Our first of 2 of the day under that yellow. And then that was the move to go up the middle between Junior and I think Casey Atwood got together off turn 2 after Kyle Busch might have scraped the wall and stacked everybody up, and Harvick went up the middle and gained a lot of spots there. Got him inside the top 5 for the next yellow. My goodness. Look at the race analysis. 8 cautions for 24 caution laps and a 125 lap race today. Still had 41 lead changes. That's incredible. Dale Jr. actually led 24 laps. Harvick led 21. Yaley led 27. Kyle Busch led 22. Kenseth led 5. Hornaday led 14. Burton led 1. Stremme led 1. My goodness, each of the top 8 all led at least 1 lap. Hermie Sadler led 1 lap. Billy Parker led 1 lap on a restart. Ashton Lewis led a lap early in the race. That's at 11 different leaders. And Kenny Wallace, that's right, he led some laps early on in the race. Unfortunately, he did not get to the end. I think he was the driver that blew an engine those final 10 laps. Saw somebody go onto pit road, couldn't finish. Tough break for Kenny. He was having a good top 10 day. So Kenny Wallace, Lance Brantley were the only 2 drivers that DNF'd in this race, and David Green was the only driver who lapped down. So 40 cars on the lead lap. Granted, with all these cautions and as big of a racetrack as Michigan is, it was kind of hard to even get to lap traffic. Crazy. 14 different leaders. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that was the closest finish we've had on the channel. By interval time, it was. We've never had a finish anywhere. I don't think we've had a finish underneath, 10 thousandths of a second before. So to have 1,000th of a second is definitely the closest, but I just don't think we were quite that. I don't think it was actually 1,000th of a second. I can't really guesstimate exactly how close it was. I don't think it was quite to the 100th of a second. It might have been a couple hundredths, but somewhere right around there probably would have been accurate. Either way, still very close. A lot closer to what I thought it was going to be. Yaley got out so far ahead. I don't know how Dale Jr. even caught up to him. Maybe he had a little bit of damage after he stuck Harvick in the wall with that block with 8 to go, and maybe that was enough for Jr. to get up there and win the race on that last lap pass. But Harvick does finish second place. And yeah, you're right, Michael. J.J. Yaley did lead the most laps today. He was the one that got 10 bonus points with 27 laps led of the 125. I believe the next race is at Bristol. That will be on the channel tomorrow night. So another NASCAR 05 race will be tomorrow night on the channel. Yep, Food City 250, under the lights at Bristol, 250 laps in that one. Short track racing once again this season. We'll take a updated look at the point standings before we get out of here. Just 11 races to go. That was a big race. It looked like Harvick was going to DNF there after Kyle Busch had turned him earlier in the race, but he rallied to finish second. And Kyle Busch actually fell back to 4th there, getting a little wide off turn 2 on that last restart after leading coming into the last restart. But J.J. Yaley had a great run to get to the lead from 3rd to 1st there, and helped with that lap car on the inside of Busch as well of David Green. But updated standings, Kevin Harvick only gains a few points on Kyle Busch. Not many, but he does gain points on him. 111-point lead. Again, you could score up to 190 points under this format back in 2004 for the Busch Series. So really all 3 series were all like this. And our modified series had the same points as well. So 190 points, most you could score in a race. Kyle Busch is very much there. It looked like for a second Harvick might have DNF'd and Kyle Busch might have had if he would have finished 3rd or 4th, Harvick DNF'ing, he would have been the points leader. Harvick still is not DNF this season. That right front was in the red, though, at the end of the race. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow at Bristol. Tempers flared here tonight at Michigan. Maybe a little bit at IRP last night as well. Well, when we go to Bristol, we know that could very well happen on another short track. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Not sure exactly what the start time of the race will be. Probably similar to tonight, right around 8 o'clock or so if I had to guess. But, yeah, see you guys tomorrow. And thanks for watching.